What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Everyday Builds. It's been almost an entire year since I posted the last video on my YouTube channel, and I've had quite a few people surprisingly ask where I went, why did I leave, and the answer is I didn't go anywhere. I'm not stopping YouTube, it's just I got a little burnt out on it and didn't feel like posting anymore. I also have a ton of house projects that I needed to get done, and recording all of them is a little impractical. It makes everything take a lot longer, so I just needed to focus on a few of my own projects that I really just needed to get done without worrying about recording everything, such as my bathroom vanity, my master closet, and this basement down here that I'm in right now, where I'm going to kind of pick up the new series of videos where it's going to be a little bit different than how I've recorded before, where it's this perfect start to finish for every project. Instead, I'm going to start posting a little more frequently. I'm going to try to do it almost daily, where whatever I get done in a day, I work on my house 1 to 3 hours a day outside of my real job. I like to work and get just as much done as I can, as frequently as I can. So I'd like to, instead of holding on to all of that footage, just put together smaller kind of bite-sized videos where I can post more frequently, not have them kind of pile up. You guys will get to see probably even more detail into the projects that I do, because a lot of times I actually cut out a ton of stuff. If I'm making, big mistakes or things like that, I try to keep videos pretty concise and to the point, and I cut out a lot of things because of that. So now posting more consistently or frequently on all of my projects, I'll be able to give you a lot more detail into everything that I'm doing. And the first project that I'm going to start with is actually this bar right here. I'm going to be doing a cool mural, wrapping it in walnut, and that's something that I've actually already recorded, but just wanted to give kind of a peek into what the videos for the next couple of months might look like. They're going to be shorter and probably have a little less, start to finish. This project's going to be a couple of days versus, just a single video. So I just wanted to give everyone kind of a heads up on this content's going to be a little bit different, but hang in there and let me know if you like it, if you hate it. Either way, I'm going to be posting like that for a while to see kind of how I like it, how it fits into my life, and we'll go from there. So I just wanted to start. This is going to be day one of what I was just talking about, and right now I want to get started on this bar area, which I will take a deeper dive into in a second here and kind of tell you guys what I'm going to be doing. So this is the bar area that I was just talking about, and I don't have it perfectly figured out, but most of the things I do, I usually don't have them perfectly figured out. It's usually just get started and things usually work themselves out, but I have obviously a rough idea. Let me get these chairs out of the way first. All right, so the general idea, what we're going for, my wife and I kind of came up with this design together, and it's definitely something we've never done before, but I think it might be pretty cool. And it's this idea of this big wallpaper mural. It's pretty rustic down here, so we went with this like wooded theme. We're both hunters, we like the outdoors, so we wanted to go with something like that. Thought it would be pretty cool. We'll see, we might hate it. If we hate it, we'll just cover it up. But basically, giant wallpaper mural, and then frame it out with some wood, and then also wrap this kind of support post here in the same wood. And then I'll also be wrapping, I've got a basement pole over there that will be wrapped the same way. And I'm going to be using some walnut, which probably seems a little ridiculous, but I have this leftover walnut that I bought super cheap from this guy. From these Amish people sold it to him, and it's different than any other walnut I've used before. So I want to use the last of that on this because I really can't use it with anything else because it's a different shade than I've ever seen, but that's besides the point. But that's what I'm going to be using, and it's because I kind of have it on hand and don't really see myself using it for anything else. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to put up this peel and stick wallpaper, which I've never done before, but I don't think it's that hard. So like I just said a second ago, I have never put up any wallpaper before, especially a mural of wallpaper, so I guess this comes with some instructions. I think it's going to be like, I think 5 separate panels, like vertical panels that put the whole image together. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. Kind of gives you all the instructions here once you unroll it. So I'm going to take a second to look these over and we will get started. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, it tells me I need to basically clean the wall, obviously, so that there's nothing underneath it, and then just go over it. And there are some, imperfections in the wall that I'm just going to put some spackling in real quick, smooth it out with the 5-in-1, and then just make sure that there's no bumps or anything. If there's any, debris in there or garbage in the paint, I can just knock that down real quick, just so there's nothing underneath the wallpaper. It's probably hard for you to see, but there is a big gouge right here in the wall. So, like I said, I'm just going to be putting some of this spackling on there, like so. And then just take a 5-in-1 or putty knife and flatten it out. Wait for that to dry. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the rest of the spots that have. It'd probably be a lot easier. You can see them a lot better if you get like a flashlight and shine it down the wall, like I might do here in a second after I get most of these. But that'll, like, if you shine it on an angle, it'll really show you kind of all the imperfections in the wall. I don't know if it has to be that perfect, but why not? So while I wait for that spackling to dry, I need to do a little bit of math to figure out where I want to start the first strip. There's going to be 5 strips and each one is about 19¼ wide. And I just want to get that centered on here. So I just need to do a little bit of math to figure out where I want to start that first one. And then I'm going to make a nice level line down there, so I know where to kind of line that up and get that first piece perfectly level so that the rest of them will run plumb as well. Level's not really the right word, but a nice plumb line to make sure they're all, perfectly up and down. So I've got about 102 inches total width. All of my mural panels together is about 96¼ or 96½. So let's say, that's about 6 inches difference. So I'll start that one 3 inches from the wall, and then I'll measure over 3 inches plus 19¼ and that'll be my starting line. And that's plenty of room, because my frame is going to be at least, I'd say, 6 inches wide all the way around, so that gives me plenty. And then I can also they're going to be too tall as well, so I'm just going to cut enough off the top and bottom so that it centers kind of that elk mural in here. And I don't know if it's an elk or not. I forget what it looks like, but don't call me out on that. So 19¼ plus 3 is 22¼ and I don't have a level that fits in this space, so I'm going to use just a straight edge and then one of my small like bullet levels just to give me a nice plumb line. And this fits my track saw track works perfectly, but I can kind of hold this bullet level right up against this straight edge here. Get that good. There we go. now I can get that first panel in place, get it right up against this line, and then should be perfect to put the rest of them down from there. So now I've got to cut out all of these strips. Like I said, there's 5 of them. You can either do this with scissors. I think it's going to be a lot easier with just a straight edge and an X-Acto knife. I can just lay it down, and I have this giant cutting mat, so. So I decided that I am going to go ahead and cut out all of these right now. If you look at this picture, I was right, it is an elk. I want to make sure that that elk is centered in that wall. So I'm going to have to cut a little bit off a lot off the top and probably a little bit off the bottom to make sure that that gets centered in that wall. So I think I need to cut all these out and get to this one that has that, so then I can basically decide how much I want to cut off the top of each one and how much I want to cut off the bottom of each one and go from there. So I've got about 41 inches of vertical space under there. So I'm just pulling my tape out to 41 and seeing kind of where I want this to land in that. I'd like to get some of these trees up in there a little bit. So, and then I'm just going to figure out how much I want to take off the bottom. I should be able to go from there. All right, I guess this is a moment of truth, as they would say. And from what I've seen in other people's videos, you can kind of stick it and peel it off and stick it again if you need to. So let's hope that this is the same way, because I doubt I'm going to get this, perfect on the first try. So what I'm going to do is peel this. It's a peel and stick, so it's a giant sticker. I'm going to peel like the top 4 inches back and like fold it over, stick the top, and then try and place the rest of it along this line and then resituate it if I have to, but there's only one way to find out. All right. Like so. So fold that over. The worst thing that can happen is if it sticks to itself. So as long as we can prevent that, oh boy, we'll be all right. So let's try. Just gonna stick the top. Pull this backing off and out. Let's see. Maybe not. Oh boy, that didn't go good. Well, let's try that all over again. No. No. Nice extra set of hands would have been cool. Oh no. Worst case scenario. Okay. Need to regroup here, because that's less than ideal. Oh boy. Okay, we're close. I'm just using this tool I've used to put on vinyl wrap before. But you probably just use your hand, but this works pretty good. You just want to work down. I would not say that that went awesome, but I still think we're okay. That was probably as bad as it could have gone in my opinion, but we're okay. I think. All right. I wouldn't say that inspired a whole lot of confidence in this next one. kind of working. Right. A little trial and error, but we got her. Lined up pretty good. It's definitely, I think it's a learning curve. I'm not sure there's even really a better way to do it. It just kind of is what it is. I'm gonna hammer out the rest of these and we'll be done. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't very enjoyable. That was a little bit stressful, to be honest. They're like giant stickers that, you know, you can only stick them so many times. So when things start to go wrong, it's a little stressful. Wasn't the funnest experience, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, like overall with everything else, but you know, we're gonna keep going at it. And I think once we add the wood and all the surrounding and the lights and everything, I think it'll really tie it all together. We were going for this kind of rustic cabiny vibe down in the basement here, so it's done now. I'm glad to have it up, and now I can start doing some more of the woodworking type stuff that I'm going to start doing tomorrow. So I will see you in that video. Bye.